don't know if we can call it a welcome back. We got a new glow up. Everything's changed. We're looking a lot nicer. So, I mean, it's kind of new here.
Yeah, it's looking really nice. Huge shout out to the production team and the graphics team putting this all together for us for this first stream tonight. And we're going to be showcasing Purgatory Apollyon versus Relentless Tier 2. Both teams looking to make a first statement for the first game of the year.
Yeah, I mean, both teams got a lot to say. They didn't make it on the top 5 power rankings. Neither team did. So they got a lot to prove to everyone. It does look like we have a pretty stacked DPS lineup on the side of Apollyon and a more even spread of talent on Relentless. What do you think about these teams? Like, from what you know, how are you feeling?
Right now, so I'm looking at Relentless Tier 2. I'm looking at Star Killer to be one of those key players, Bolite and Arthro. And also, they didn't say it, but Animati as well. I believe they were on correct me if I'm wrong, they were a champion last year in Firewall. Or they were at least in the finals for Firewall last season as well. So those are some people to really look out for on that team. As well as they're going to be trying to run a load of different compositions. They're not going to be sticking to just Brawl, which you've seen a lot of Tier 2 teams come out and say, we're running Brawl, and that's what we like to run. They can put in some double shield. They can run in some dive as well. So I'm really excited for this team. On the side of Apollyon, what do we got here, Bogd?
So I know Illegal Eagle and Jabriel are two apparently star players. So really stacked DPS line here. What does that mean? Probably they're going to be more efficient in comps like double shield where the DPS really have time to shine, get those off angles, get those picks, put out just a little bit more than the other team. That is what's going to be the winning factor in fights. Now when it comes down to comps like Rush, they might have a harder time with less talent on the tank and support lines. I mean, Relentless is established org here in Firewall, and Apollyon, they're an established team, but they haven't competed in Firewall or CGL before. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out, since they're going against such an established team. I mean,
yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how both of these teams start on tonight. We do have a map pool, which I think we can bring up, and we can talk about that before we start the game tonight. We start out Busan, then we head into Blizzard World, Volskaya, Dorado, and if we need it, we have Nepal as our tiebreaker map. And we could start talking about Busan if you want to here, Bogd, what you think in here for these compositions.
I mean, Busan is a map with a lot of variety. On Mecha Base, you have a lot of Rush, and on City, you have a bit of that dive, double bubble, Ball Diva, that kind of style. So it'll be really interesting to see the variety comps run here, especially from Relentless, who did say they played all those types of comps. So, I mean, why don't we head into Busan right now?
I mean, it's as good as a time to start as any as we head into Busan. We see which map we start on, which, like you said, all depends on what compositions are going to be running here in this the first match of the day. And we're starting out on Sanctum here.
I mean, Sanctum, Ball Diva, and Double Shield are really good comps to run here. So, from both teams, a lot of choices on team comps can be made. So it'll be interesting to see which team decides for what kind of preference they have in styles, and I think that's going to determine a lot for the later season. There still is adaptations that can be made, but having those core foundations on certain comps where you're just naturally really good at communicating with your team with is going to be really key.
Yeah, so we're already starting out. We're seeing that Wrecking Ball, like you said, but not that Diva. We're seeing both teams actually picking Sigma right now, Bogd. What are our thoughts on that?
I don't know. Sigma's a pretty strong character right now, especially in Double Shield. With the ball, he's kind of easier to collapse and to dive on, but he still has a lot of power using his accretion rock to push foes away. So there's a lot of variety. He's more flexible than other heroes.
Well, we're definitely going to be starting this out with Jabril looking to get that first pick in this fight for Apollyon, needing to probably go into that backline, get Star Killer out of this fight, but they're already starting to push it onto the point. That's where the Apollyon needs to play with this brawl that they're kind of running right now. But nothing's really doing. They can't really push into this Relentless. They don't have this front presence like Apollyon does, but now they've got to push on. The point has unlocked. They're trying to get some picks already to start on, but nothing's doing. Neither team really making any space, but Bolite gonna start it off, getting a legal eagle out of this fight, and that's gonna be the first kill of the Firewall season. Stefano turning it back as well. This looking good for the side of Relentless here too. Star Killer getting 2 in this fight as the Zenyatta looking really good for Star Killer.
Yeah, I think we'll see the same story again and again tonight. It's mostly going to be about keeping up that pressure, keeping up. Oh, it does look like we're going to see a quick pause here for a second. But keeping up that pressure, just building on it until eventually something collapses, and that's the moment the team's going to go in. So with the Ryan here on the side of Purgatory, it's going to be a lot harder to keep up that pressure, as Reinhardt does need to get in close, and Relentless is going to be able to keep him away. So I think it's going to be a very uphill battle right now for Purgatory.
Well, they do have this nano boost to push in with the Reinhardt most likely. There's no really other good targets for the side of Apollyon right this moment. So we're going to look for that to go in any second now. Oh, charge for TZP, and there goes the nano boost right onto the Reinhardt. He needs to get into the fray of things right now, but the Amp Matrix is right there, and that might be very hard for the rest of the team to group up with him. But a bang guy noon coming in from Bolite. Bolite with another pick as well. And that's going to do it again. Another team fight win for Relentless as a team kill gong is sounded.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it right there that Ryan wasn't able to close that distance after he got the nano without the Lucio. It's very hard for him to get in there and start swinging around, and Relentless was able just to push back with the ults of their own using Lux, Mines, Window, and Noon. It's quite a lot and an expensive build to pay, but I mean, hey, when you're holding point like this, it's a pretty good spot to be in.
Illegal Eagle is down already. Still has not been able to build up to this EMP, which is going to be huge for these fights coming up. And here comes the Flux out from Devil Hunter, but it's going to be canceled out right away by Star Killer's ultimate. And it's still going in favor of Relentless. They've already got the Reinhardt down, and that's going to bode very poorly as the attack visor is out from the soldier. And that is going to do it. There doesn't seem like anyone's going to be able to touch. It's got to be the end of this first round as Relentless tier 2 looking very, very dominant right now, Bog.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some of the talent from Relentless already. Being able to keep that distance, play well, just stay kind of grouped in away from Purgatory here. Just able to stay up for long enough just to kick the leg out from under the table and sweep it.
Well, now we're heading into Mecha Base, and we're not seeing Stefano swap over to the Reinhardt right now, which seems to be interesting because they're looking to be up there, as just as I say that, because they were really going towards that brawl style composition. And okay, so both teams are running that Ryan Diva here, Bog. What do you think about these compositions going into Mecha Base?
I think for Mecha Base, it's almost a necessity, as the upper high ground has a lot of that little areas to hide behind and regain a bit of health and protect yourself a little before going right back in. So it's definitely a necessity here to run the rush.
Well, Jabril trying to get some first picks already, but they're looking very caught out. But oh no, Stefano gets completely cut off from the rest of Relentless for the moment. But now they are down in this fight. Now the Doom trying to run free on this point, but there's a supercharged Symmetra on point. It's going to be really hard for the side of Apollyon to push into this, and they've already lost this point capture. That's going to be huge for Relentless going into this. Jabril trying to do anything, but nothing's doing for this Doomfist right now. Ryan for Apollyon getting another pick, but it's not going to be enough as it's going all the way in favor of Relentless, with Bolite getting 3 in this fight, and it still seems to be the same thing here, Boggs. It's still looking really dominant for Relentless tier 2.
Yeah, even with some more sloppy plays from the Ryan here on the side of Relentless, with that Sim Beam, just able to keep the distance from Purgatory, just pushing them back further and further. It's really hard to counter that with the Sim Doom here, with the Somber Doom. Looks like we're gonna see a big bomb here, maybe.
Self-destruct over the top. Not going to get anything, but the Shatter is going to connect it to all 6. Oh my goodness, and that's going to be the beginning of the end. The Blizzard is invested as well. Might not have been needed, but it's going to get the kills necessary for a nice little team wipe for the side of Relentless Tier 2 yet again, and it's up to 60% here. And but they have a shining light coming into this next fight here, Bog.
I mean, the EMP could absolutely be huge for the side of Purgatory here. EMP Shatter just can outright win a fight, but we are encroaching on
there comes 5 coming down from the EMP, and the Shatter hits next as well. That is going to do it. They're going to be able to win this fight out. It seems right now they need to get these finishing kills before the respawns come back, but they look like they are going to be able. It's just Bowlight on the point for the moment, trying to stall out to 90% as they do. But that's going to be Apollyon getting their first capture percentage of the Firewall season.
Apollyon is in a really good spot right now, having that point control, but Relentless is in final fight territory here. If they win one, that is game and match for them. And they have a lot of ult stocked up right now, and it does look like we're going to see a bit of an engage here.
This is going out. Star Killer already getting Jabril out of this fight. That's so much damage, so much pick potential out, and a big Shatter as well coming out from Stefano. It's already seems like the side of Apollyon have already given up this point control. They didn't even have to use Blizzard, did Relentless, and they have this for this last little engagement. If anyone can touch, it's going to be Jabril trying to touch. They're going to be able to touch, but the Blizzard's on point. There's not going to be anything really doing as the Sim is on point and has it locked down. This is going to be it. That is map 1, and Busan is going to Relentless Tier 2.
Man, that was pretty one-sided, if I do say so. I think that was maybe Purgatory with one cap there. That's gonna show a very uphill, rough battle for Purgatory for this match. Right now, they're not looking too good. I do think Relentless just has the edge here. They've shown they play a variety of comms, and they've shown that they do it better than Purgatory. So, how do you feel about this series?
I don't know. If we don't see something change from the side of Purgatory, Apollyon, I don't think this is going to be more than 3 maps. I don't want to say that because it sounds rude, but right now that's looking like that. You can't look at me with a straight face and say, right now, after seeing that first map, Apollyon has any shot. It doesn't look like that at all. But maybe if they go into our second map, which is going to be Blizzard World, they might have the edge. But like I said in the intro, the side of Relentless can run so many different compositions, and Blizzard World is one of those maps that has so many different types of compositions that can be run, and it's going to be really interesting to see if they can have any chance to come back into the series.
Yeah, when I was talking to the captains before the game, Apollyon's captain actually told me that they weren't really where they were when they first started the team. So that's very interesting to hear. They're maybe going through a rough patch right now, but if it stays like this for the rest of the season, they might be one of the bottom tier teams, and that's a little concerning for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it could be just first game jitters. Who knows? But the season's still very long. I don't know if things can change. Obviously, going into the rest of the Firewall season, players can come in, different things can happen. But like we keep reiterating, it's just right now it does not look good for this team. But something. What do they need to do specifically, Bogd, to come back in this series and look like a completely different team coming into this map number 2?
They need to have a more uniform idea of what they're doing. As we saw on Sanctum there, they kind of split the idea of what they were doing between a rush style comp and a poke, and it didn't really work out for them as Relentless was just able to do the poke better and just win that battle. So having these split ideas can allow for a lot of joints that Relentless can kind of just poke at, and that does seem to be a major weakness in this team so far. But as we head into Blizzard World, maybe things will be a little different.
Yeah, hopefully, we see some different things coming in. We're still waiting for confirmation, I believe, from both captains to go into Blizzard World. But Blizzard World first point can really... we didn't really talk about all the different compositions that we can see on Blizzard World. What do we, Bogged? Because you can really run whatever you really feel like. We've seen that in OWL. We saw a team, we saw Atlanta still win with like that double shield composition when it's more divey. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just chatting. Just to chat to get more time in the to fill for time, but what? Okay, I guess we're going in soon, so I don't have to keep chatting nonsense. But it's what we see could be so many different things here. What do you expect from both of these teams after seeing map 1?
I'll be honest, I don't expect a lot from Purgatory here. I assume they'll probably run the Ryan Sig here again, because this is actually stronger on this map. And it can be run as long as you play with its compromises here. I think that Relentless probably is going to run the dive, because it is better here, and they do have that flexibility onto different comps, and again, that dive is pretty good, whether it's D.Va Ball, D.Va Winston, Zarya Winston, just all these comps, they are playable here on First Point Blizzard World, so way interesting to see each team.
Well, right now we're seeing the Ryan Sigma. I don't think we were expecting that. Oh, just as I say that, you know, people like to change when I talking about the attacking team composition, but right now we're seeing wow, a very spam heavy composition coming out from Purgatory Apollyon here, Bogged.
Yeah, it's interesting that they are running the Ryan Zarya with this, though. That is a weak point, as the Reinhardt can't really spam, except for maybe every 5 seconds when he gets a Fire Strike up. So, it's gonna be a little bit of compromises on what they're trying to do as a team. It does look like we're gonna see the Ryan Sig from Relentless here as they switch to D.Va. Running that rush onto here. Ashe Mei, pretty good for this map here, being able to use that cover with the Mei wall, and closing that distance quick as we see them rush upstairs there.
Yeah, I definitely like this composition, especially since you can have the D.Va still deal with that Pharah in the sky as well with bow light on the Ashe. But we're gonna be seeing they've got to get that Pharah down first, but also the Pharah is that main key for the side of Purgatory, and it's just as I say that, Illegal Eagle already starting the fight off with a pick onto his direct counter there of the Ashe in this fight, and it's now looking good for the side of Apollyon. They've got the picks necessary, and they're going to most likely win this fight out, as we do see the D.Va trying to get out with their life.
Yeah, a bit of a sloppy fight from Relentless there, just kind of ignoring the Pharah. They didn't really play faster than the Pharah can. They just kind of sat there and let her do her thing in the back line. So that was interesting to see, but I do think with some more coordinated pressure on the Pharah here, they definitely still have a shot. But it's a surprise to see such a strong Pharah from Apollyon here. It maybe shows what they have up their sleeve.
Yeah, well, we're now going into this next little engagement. Both Reinhardt swinging for the fences, but it's illegal Eagle starting up. But Jabril with a 3K tire. I can't count right now. That's how big that tire was coming from Jabril. Is going to be able to win this fight out thanks to that massive tire from Jabril.
That was a really good play from Jabril there, getting that 3K tire. And now Apollyon is at that ult advantage here. They have a lot stacked up and ready. And if they can just keep that pressure up with the Pharah creating those off angles and still spamming down at the Reinhardt with that junk, they still have it. A very good shot of holding this point here, but we did see some flaws as that Pharah did go down pretty quickly last fight. She wasn't able to trade out, but how long will she be able to keep that up for?
Yeah, especially with the respawn advantage. Thankfully, they do have that Mercy available, but the respawn advantage is so much in favor of Relentless at this time. But here comes the barrage over the top. Gonna get 1, 2, maybe no. As the soldier is gonna get that pick onto Illegal Eagle, as he gets another pick in this fight as well. And the self-destruct coming through the to the point. Not gonna get anyone, but it's gonna make enough space to the side of Relentless to get a hold on this point, and they are gonna get a hold and get this point unlocked right this moment.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it there, now that Relentless has switched to the double hit scan, that Pharah got countered pretty hard. She was able to trade out, but she did have to use Barrage. It does look like we're going to see a switch onto Ashe to maybe try to counterplay Bow Light here, but we'll see how that goes.
I don't know. The Ashe is interesting. I think, I guess since, you know, Relentless is running that double hit scan, doesn't make sense really to run the Pharah into this composition that Relentless is running. But now we get into this fight here as Stefano, oh my goodness, over-investing very heavily. Shatter coming out, gonna get Artho with 2 with the tac visor. And that's gonna be enough, even though they lost that Reinhardt early in this fight. The rest of Relentless getting the team kill and gonna keep this cart pushing.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of old investments from both teams there. But it does look like Relentless was able to put it out with that huge tac visor. Now it does look like Relentless has switched on to the Mercy. Looks like they did last fight. I didn't quite catch it. Huge pick from Bow Light early on, taking out that bad main heal. That's going to be absolutely crucial as we move into this engage.
Some great dinks coming in from Bow Light on the Ashe. Looking really strong. Maybe MVP caliber player right now in his head. Oh my goodness, just as I say that, Barexit eating the grab of Devil X Hunter. And that's going to be a really easy cap thanks to some nice plays. And there goes Stefano into the backline with a pinned Mercy. But, you know, they fall to the Ashe. I don't know. What's the Ashe gun called?
Coach gun.
No, the actual gun. It's like the Viper something, right?
I don't know.
Okay, well you keep talking and I'll figure it out.
Okay. Relentless does have a big ult advantage coming in here with a lot of momentum as Purgatory has to try to find a foothold here. Legal Eagle isn't going to get a pick onto Bow Light here, but it's part of Shore in the backline. It does look like we're going to see a res come out.
It is called the Viper. As we go into this fight here, the self-destruct coming over the top, gonna get the D-Mech on Devil X Hunter and the kill on the Immortality field, which is gonna be massive. Going into this fight here, as Jabril trying to turn it back, getting a kick with the Riptire, but it's not gonna be enough as the Ashe, or the Bob is out from Bow Light, and this is still looking like a very good push coming in. They looking like they're going to be able to finish with 2 minutes on this clock right now as TZP gonna be able to touch the Ashe, or the Bob coming out from Illegal Eagle, trying to stay off this push from Relentless at this moment. But Stefano getting the pick onto his counterpart, and that's going to be all they need. The Amp Matrix is not going to be enough as Arthro Assassin getting 3 with the tac visor and getting a completion. 2 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock for Relentless Tier 2.
Yeah, for another time, not a good spot to be in if you're Purgatory. Arthro with some huge tac visors being able to finish that push there. I mean, we saw those tac visors again and again, and I don't think I saw one less than 2. So, that's pretty good for such a underwhelming ult at times.
Yeah, it was really a really good ultimate. Getting any value from your ultimate is massive, but especially ultimates that normally you don't see getting many kills, like say the Meteor Strike from Doomfist or the Tac Visor. Getting value is huge for this Relentless squad.
Yeah. Does look like we're gonna see a bit of Ryan Sig here from Relentless. He kind of teased it at the beginning of the last round, maybe running it, but does look like we're actually gonna see it now. Purgatory does look like they're gonna go to a more standard type of rush comp for what I'm seeing so far. Again, with Relentless running double hit scan, now with the Sigs in, a lot of trouble for Purgatory. We saw the absolute skill of the players on Relentless, and it is not looking pretty for Purgatory.
Definitely not. And we saw Starkiller, especially on Sanctum there, just lighting up the opposition with that Zenyatta, and we do see them opting for that Bap Zen defense here, holding up high ground. But they definitely need Jabril to get this first pick in this fight. That's gonna make the whole difference. If they can get one of the supports outright with an arrow to the face, that's going to be huge for Apollyon going into this, as we do see Jabril trying to get some picks into the backline and onto the squishies as they wrap around, but it's not going to matter as Jabril going to go down first in this fight by Borexen's Rock. And now they're stuck in a little, between a rock and a hard place, you should say, as they're pushing in with only 5 people on this, 5 people right now. And it's going to be really difficult for them to push in, as it looks like they're still trying to get this push in, but you're stuck. They're stuck. They don't have anywhere to go. They need to wait for Jabril to go down, as Illegal Eagle going down as well. They're going to use the Amp Matrix, which is an interesting decision. Trying to get some picks from TZPS's Fire Strike, but it's not going to really do it at all. But Jabril coming back on the Sombra, getting Starkiller out of this fight is going to be huge. But it might not be enough to do much, as Volight's going to get 2 in this fight. And the Amp Matrix is going to be used from Animati. And Relentless 2-2 is going to be able to hold this after a really long, drawn-out fight.
Yeah, that was a very interesting fight. It does look like we're going to see 2 picks from Jabril here. And Relentless Purgatory is coming back with that respawn advantage, so it's going to be a very interesting little waiting game here. But we did see a huge place from that Sombra, forcing the Orion from Relentless to move back and getting a pick on that's in there, so that was absolutely massive, but they did somehow win.
We're going to see Borexen using the Gravitic Flux here. The Deadeye not being used out there, and just as I say that, the Zen is going to go down to the Deadeye, and that's going to be another quick team fight win for the side of Relentless Tier 2, and they had to use it. They invested 3 ultimates, however, but they're coming up with another one, and they already have one online.
Purgatory is in a pretty good spot with EMP here. Being able to take that Zen early, especially when he has trims coming right up, is going to be absolutely crucial to winning this fight. And being able to combine it with something like Bomber Shatter here, also very helpful. So they do have a pretty good shot on capturing this point right here. It does look like we're going to see if that theory is true.
Yeah, well, I don't know why they're not trying to. They could have just EMP'd that all those squishies, but they get Animati out of this fight. But Jabril dies with the EMP. That cannot happen, especially when we're down to 60 seconds left on this clock. Both Transcendence going to be invested, as well as the Amplification Matrix, but it's going to start out TZP going to get a pick with the Fire Strike, the self-destruct coming over the top as well, and it's looking good for Apollyon as Illegal Eagle getting 2 in this fight. Starkiller trying to turn it back, but it's not going to be enough, as Apollyon gonna be able to capture this point with 30 seconds remaining, and they got a new lease on life.
Yeah, Apollyon was able to capture that point, but they did invest a lot more ults than I felt was necessary when they had stuff like EMP Shatter. So that was an interesting play on their Sombra there, going for the manual hack and the pick on the bat before that. It does look like the Sombra is going to fall to 3 here, as we do see a little bit of a scrimmage going on.
Oh! goodness. And they still have not used EMP either. Action probably going to look for this Gravitic Flux to start off the fight, but who knows really what's going on in these players' minds at this time. There it goes, right as I said it. Immortality Field is going to be destroyed as well, and that's going to be a lot of damage as the Reinhardt and Direxen get to throw all that damage in onto Apollyon. They're going to be able to stop that cart before it even gets to that first corner.
I mean, with how the Sombra's playing right now, it really feels like Apollyon is kind of down a man, as EMP or even a manual hack there would have been able to shut down that Flux or destroy that window, but the Sombra was kind of just alone on point before TPing out from a little bit of pressure. This definitely shows a lot of weakness in the Sombra play here from Purgatory. Does look like they're gonna be able to put on a little bit of pressure here by...
Oh no, the disrespect coming in from Stefano, getting a 360 shatter off the top ropes, and it still looks like they're gonna be able to win this fight out as Bola gets a Deadeye kill, and the rest of Relentless are gonna be able to finish this up as, oh. Hello Zen, that's transcending after his entire team died. You know, ult management might be a huge problem here, Bog.
Yeah, that's not really a fight you want to lose when you get 360 shattered and the Ryan on the other team goes down early in the fight and you're up a ton of ults. They seem to be holding a lot of their ults, especially crucial ones like EMP. It does look like we're going to see a trade out here as we move into the next fight.
Well, yeah, it's a pretty decent sized trade as Starkiller has this Transcendence to deal with EMP that has still been holding on for this entire second round push. And there we go. There's the EMP getting it 4 down, but Starkiller is back with the Transcendence to be able to be used. It's only one person goes down thanks to that EMP, and they still have these people to win these fights out. Is it still going in favor of Relentless?
Yeah, EMP is a great ult, and you can win team fights off of it alone, but from what was done there, they didn't combine anything with it, and it really showed that you can't always win a team fight off of it alone. And that seems to kind of be the problem here with Purgatory. A lot of flaws in the ult management really shining through here. Very bad spot for Purgatory to be in.
Yeah, no, you can't be holding EMP for almost 2.5 minutes. I feel like a lot of these things could be really easily fixed coming in from Purgatory Apollyon. They just need that coach that can drive them to fix those mistakes, fix what they need to do. And I feel like they could actually turn the season around. They have the foundation. We've seen it a little bit here and there. But right now, it's whatever is going on isn't really meshing well. They need to find that mesh, and I think they can turn the season around. But I'm still talking like they're out of it. There's still at least one more map. There can be at most maybe 3 more maps right now.
Yeah. Currently, right now, Purgatory is in a very bad spot, though, being down 2-0 after pretty much rolls on both maps here. But like you said, they are coachable things. They are mistakes that are more easily fixable than mechanical errors. And I think that does show some promise and an ability to improve over the season here, but unless something clicks in between rounds here, I don't think we'll be seeing too much of a change.
Well, hopefully after this short little intermission, we see a change in Apollyon's mentality. Maybe we see some change, but we're going to be going to an intermission before map 3. Don't go anywhere. This has been me and Blogfern, but we'll catch you right after this intermission. Welcome.
And
Oh, gosh darn it, Bogged. Welcome back, everyone. This is Firewall Esports, the first game of the season. I'm Joker Ransom. He's Bogged Fern. And we're going into our third map of the evening. It's going to be Volskaya. And it's not looking good right now. Apollyon making some pretty big mistakes. And they definitely need to fix some things going into map 3, Bogged.
yeah, this does look like it's gonna be possibly a final map here. Not very good telling for Apollyon here. There is still hope because there are errors that can be fixed. They are beyond mechanical. They are gameplay and game sense. So they can be fixed. Maybe something in the intermission, something clicked. But the likelihood is kind of low from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, we do have a swap coming in from Apollyon. Lunar is coming in from for Ico. So I'm assuming that is a support swap for the side of Apollyon. Maybe that's a big difference. Maybe Lunar comes in, huge IGL, changes the game. Tells them when to ult and not hold ultimates for 2 minutes and some change. Maybe that, and then we see a reverse sweep. I might be dreaming, but that could happen. It could.
I think everyone here would love to see a reverse sweep, or at least possibly a 5th map. But again, likely no. I mean, supports are straw colors, so again, there is a bit of a chance there, but it's a chance.
I mean, it is definitely a chance. Before we head in, compositions we're likely to see on Volskaya here, Bogged.
I mean, I know a lot of people like to run the rush on Volskaya, that Ryan Diva, Ryan Czar. I mean, so there's a lot that can be done with that, but let's see what they're gonna run as we head in here to Volskaya.
We shall see indeed. The Russian map. I like going over and watching the gigantic robots. Just when I'm bored. Because why not?
Yeah, I mean,
passes the time.
Yeah,
passes the time.
Makes you wonder what they think, you know, just stomping around infinitely. Do they feel like us? Do they experience what we do?
Who really knows? I'm sure we'll never know. We'll never probably have giant robots patrolling cities. But I mean, it's Russia. You never know. But right now we're locking compositions and we're seeing that double shield from the side of Relentless tier 2. And we've seen some good things coming out from that DPS line and the support line. Do you expect? I don't think you expect any changes, but with the double shield now being played, do you think there could be any growing pains from this?
No, I don't think there are going to be any growing pains. We already saw that both DPS are really good on the ranged DPS here, those hit scans and the Hanzo. So that's pretty much set in stone, and we saw their Zen BAP before on Blizzard World, and that was also really good. The only new thing here is the Orisa, which, I mean, there could be some errors there, but even then, that's just one player out of the 6.
We also do have a role swap going into this map. Jabril is now on the off tank, and TZPS is going to be playing that DPS role with Devil Hunter on the main tank right now, trying to change some things up, trying to go into this, and they've already got this point control, which is massive. They don't have the side of Relentless cannot really push into this, as Illegal Eagle already taking around Barexen. Illegal Eagle with 2 in this fight. Illegal Eagle with 3. Oh my goodness. Things are starting to look up for the side of Apollyon right now, as Bolite trying to turn it back, but it's not going to be enough, as Illegal Eagle's already got 4 in this fight. It's just the Orisa and Zen left. Jabril hits a flying rock to the face of the Stefano. And that's going to be a huge time bank going into point 2.
I mean, the reverse sweep, it is live, it is possible. I mean, right now, that was just a complete flip of the script from what we've seen before. I mean, Apollyon, Purgatory, they have a chance here. They have a shot. It's still a slim one, but they can make it if they really just tap this second point here. I think it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. Especially with this huge time bank going into second, but Devil Hunter going down super early is not gonna be what you want, as they do get that res up. However, they don't have it for the long fight, which could be a problem. The TCPS looking to be caught out, but running back to their team for the moment. Bob gonna be using this in this fight, gonna be on point, but Kune gonna go down to Bolight's arrow, and that is not going to bode well, as the Bob is gonna be just melted very quickly. The Amp Matrix gonna be used. That's gonna be all they need to win this fight out, as Illegal Ego trying to get some picks, but nothing doing, as they solidify this defense on point 2.
Yeah, that was a lot rougher of a fight for Purgatory there, pushing in after the BAP died. Not a great move, but again, it is still possible. They have a very big time bank. They're still at 430, so anything is possible. The reverse sweep is still live, but again, it is a slim shot.
Yeah, well, we do see a lot of ultimates online. Probably going to be investing this Dragon Strike early, most likely, but maybe not, as TZPS going down early in this fight. No more Soldier on the side of Apollyon for this moment in time, as they do just look like they're going to back out, wait for TZ to come back.
Yeah, right now Relentless is able just to put a ton of pressure using their DPS alone, just having that left side high ground for themselves. I mean, Purgatory hasn't really contested at all, and the DPS have just been free to do whatever, so they've been getting picks very early in the fight, just stopping the push before it even begins.
Well, they look like, oh, this could be another early team pick again. They might not have to invest any ultimates yet again, as 2 picks already in favor of Relentless. Right after both tank ultimates have been invested. Berexon getting Jabril with the Gravitic Flux in the end, and they're going to be able to win this out, but they still have 3 ultimates to use.
Yeah, I mean, a pick before they even got choke, and then a pick halfway down choke. I mean, that's going to stop a push outright, dead in its tracks. And the tanks just walking through there kind of just fed a lot of ult charge for Relentless there. I mean, it doesn't really matter because they already have so many stacked ults because they've just been saving them because they haven't needed them. But Purgatory does have a lot here, and maybe if they just all press Y at once, maybe they can make something happen.
Well, Starkiller is super low right now, trying to stay alive. The Amp Matrix from Kuni gonna be used early in this fight, but they're gonna be just playing it safe. But Illegal Ego gonna get that dink onto Bowlight with some extra damage from the Amp Matrix. Is gonna be huge, but still traded out thanks to Arthro Assassin on the Soldier, as it's still looking good for the side of Relentless. Tier 2, a lot of ultimates being used from both teams, but it's still going in favor of Relentless. But Illegal Eagle has something to say about that with 3 picks, 4 picks. Oh my goodness. Bowlight gonna get a pick, but it's not, they need to be able to touch, as they do have that respawn advantage, as Arthro Assassin gonna be using the attack visor here. Gonna get 1 down already, looking to get this other support, not gonna get the Mercy, but the respawns are coming back for the side of Relentless. They've got the people on the point. Stefano gets Lunar out of this fight, and Matrix is on point, and they've somehow done it. They've held on to this point.
Yeah, Illegal Eagle is able to get a lot of that burst potential off of Ashe, being able to pop off at moments, but it doesn't really seem like the rest of the team is keeping up with that pace there, as we saw. I mean, Relentless, with that respawn advantage, was able just to stagger in and eventually just whittle down Purgatory enough till they eventually fell back to spawn.
Big changes on or somewhat big changes. We're gonna see Jabril on the Roadhog now, which is going to be kind of interesting, especially since Starkiller is opting for. Oh my goodness, what a hook coming in from Jabril! They're gonna have to use the Immortality Field, but Illegal Eagle still gets the pick onto Stefano. Another big hook coming in from Jabril on the Hog. Oh my goodness, this might be the switch they needed to win this out. A thorough assassin trying to turn it back, getting a pick onto Illegal Eagle, but it might not be enough. There's another big hook stick coming onto Jabril with the bow line getting two. Oh my goodness, Jabril walking into his enemy team, killing the two squishies. It still looks like the side of Relentless are going to be able to hold this, but Jabril is still on point and getting picks. Oh my goodness, they might be able to push this in. They got a anti-nade onto Jabril at the moment, but he's going to be using the whole hog, getting Borexen out of this fight. And this might be enough. They've got it down to 7 seconds. They're trying to push it, trying to get it to overtime. Are they going to do it? No, they're going to still get the point with 2.9 seconds on the clock. Oh my goodness, Bog.
That was insane. I mean, that hog pick was absolutely crucial there. Maybe what Purgatory needs is just some of those comfort picks to be able to play to their best ability. I mean, nothing else has really been working for them so far, but now that hog's come out, we've seen that this team does have potential. I mean, those were some insane plays. That hog just got so much value and was able to get so many picks and hooks. It was surprising to see.
It was definitely surprising to see, especially since the side of Relentless is running double shield. It's 2 times the shield that the hog needs to hook through. And he's still getting hooks onto the tank line and getting big picks from it. But still, they only got the capture with about 3 seconds on the board. That's a huge defense coming in from Relentless 2-2 when it was a 6-minute time bait going into point 2.
Yeah, definitely a lot of stall and a lot of point holding going on from Relentless. But Purgatory did cap with some time left, so if Relentless does cap with time 2, they will get the full minute back to be able to have another attempt to push again. Does look like we're switching off the hog and the Ash here, which were so crucial in the first attack. That's kind of a disaster sign for me as we go back to the Sombra here.
Yeah, well, Legal Eagle is on the Sombra this time, however. Maybe that will spode the difference, but they're already trying to start this off, and they do get Bowlight out of this fight early, and that's going to buy them a lot of time, but Arthro already around the back getting Kunai out of this fight. That's going to be huge. They don't have their BAP any longer, but it's still looking good for the side of Apollyon. They've got picks necessary, and they're going to have to regroup and re-engage.
Yeah, I mean, the uptime on the Sombra here, the Sombra's already at 43% full charge, and the balls are at 40 themselves, so I mean, pretty good plays going on from the side of Purgatory here. Being able to build those ults quickly is absolutely crucial in this type of comp. Just look like we're going to see a big slam taking out that Baby Diva there.
Rexon still wasn't able to get back into their mech form, going down. Still nothing really doing. They need to get another pick from Arthro Assassin on this Pharah. This is their go sign. They need something doing. Double Hunter gonna be super low here. That might be what they need. But the healing is there for the time being, but still not. This attack's not looking that good from the side of Relentless 2-2 as TZ gonna get Starkiller out of this fight, and this should make them go right back to spawn. Just as Isaiah, Bowlight gets the pick on Kunai, and the res is there, trying to get some. But the EMP coming out from Illegal Eagle, only getting an Arthro Assassin with it, it seems. But they're still gonna be able to get the picks necessary going into this fight, and they should get this hold.
Yeah, I mean, all Purgatory committed there was the EMP, which is a major ult, but now they have all the other ults online here. Relentless does have some coming on live too, but we're gonna see a huge pick from Legal Eagle onto the motor there. But Purgatory does have that chance to counter Relentless here, so that's gonna be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah, well, we need something. They need something doing. They've got the ultimates necessary going into this fight, but it's down to 1:30. Remember how big of a time bank Apollyon had going into this. They're going to look for this barrage over the top, and they're going to get 3 down from Arthro Assassin and the res as well. That should open it wide open for Relentless Tier 2. And they're going to be able to capture it. It's just a wrecking ball. Going to be using the minefields on point, but might make the right decision if they decide to swap off, but it doesn't seem really necessary as that looked to be all but over for this first whole defense.
Yeah, that was an interesting play if they are going to stick the ball, which they are going to switch to the Zar here, which doesn't really play as well into the Sig. I mean, it's definitely doable, but never mind, it does look like we're seeing a switch to the Hog, which, as we saw before, is really good. But Relentless does have 5 ults online right now. Purgatory does have the trans, which could be absolutely massive counterplay. But we'll see how that goes coming into this fight here.
I mean, it's 5 ultimates. They've got to win this fight if they use all of them. The self-destruct coming over the top, but it's going to get 2. The EMP not going to have any follow-up thanks to that ginormous self-destruct coming in from Barexen, and they're going to be able to do it. They've already got the point on lock, and they've got the res on Barexen. They have this Deadeye to zone people coming into the point. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to touch. They do. They get the Sombra on point. This Amp Matrix is going to come out. The Hermetic Flux trying to do something, but that's not going to be enough as Bolite getting so many picks in that fight. As this is all she wrote. A huge snowball coming in for Relentless.
Yeah. Purgatory, again, with their ult uses, has shown some flaws. I mean, again, they're playing really passive with them, and they're not using them to engage and win the fight before it's begun, and that's really showing here as Relentless is able just to go in and use them before Purgatory has the time to respond, and that's been shown again and again throughout the series.
Yeah, it's really, like you just said, it's really about the alt management. It's been, if they get some better timing with those ultimates, using them correctly, we could see some changes coming in the future for this Relentless squad. Or sorry, the Apollyon squad.
Yeah. Ult usage is a very major thing that they are missing out on, but I mean, overall team play for them is also pretty low too. I mean, while the ball sig did work out for them, we saw that they were mostly split in a pretty much uncoordinated most of the time. I mean, the Sombra and Ball did seem to have some sort of communication going there, being able to grab those picks, but other than that, it was pretty much low involvement for the rest of the team.
Yeah, and now we're seeing double bubble coming out from Apollyon with a Echo. That first time Echo's been played in this series. We'll see how Illegal Eagle can handle this character, or handle the character. We've seen them do very good things on other heroes, but Arthro Assassin still showing up. This DPS line for Relentless is still nothing to scoff at. They've already got this first pick in the fight. They're looking for more, and they're down to 30 seconds, Fog. And it looks good. It's looking good for Relentless. They've already got ultimates almost all the way up as Bolite gets the pick on the Illegal Eagle.
Yeah, that's going to be a crucial pick going into this final push here. I mean, being down until the last 11 seconds here, they're going to be rushing in, and that's just going to be a fair death spot to be in.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to be able to touch, really. Devil Hunter is going to be trying to get there with the rocket jump as they do get there and try, but Arthro Assassin is going to be getting Jabril out of this fight with the barrage, but it's still looking good. Illegal Eagle's got 2 picks in this fight. The Deadeye coming up from Bolite, gonna get Lunar out of this fight. That's massive. That's a big source of healing coming away as Bolite gets another pick as well. This should be enough for them to win this out. They still got the Pharah high in the sky. No one to be really able to counter it. It's just the Pharah and the Echo and Wrecking Ball on the point. And that's gonna do it. They're gonna be able to hold it without giving up any capture percentage.
Very, very rough poke war there from Purgatory. Relentless was just able to build their ults quicker and be able to get those trade outs in that final fight there with the Mercy. When they got that res, that's all they needed to win that fight there. 3 minute, almost 4 minute time bank here, coming in on attack. Um, a very, very bad sign for Purgatory here.
Yeah, definitely. Especially since the side of Relentless only need 33% on the board, and it's 4 minutes to do so. It's about the same as a regular push, and we saw them be able to do that in that time. They've got to pull out the stops, and they're doing it right now. They've got Jabril on the Roadhog this time, trying to work that magic that he had in that first attacking phase. But right now it's not looking good after a really strong attacking phase for Apollyon.
Yeah, with Relentless being able to control the push and the aggression here, that hog is looking a little less valuable right now. I mean, they do have to engage eventually, but if they can just poke the hog down enough to remove it from the fight, maybe Relentless is in a really good spot.
Well, we'll see how they go on. They've got the wrecking ball from Stefano. Here is a sleep going on to Jabril already in this fight, and Arthro Assassin starting it off already. Oh, light as well. This is the beginning of the end for Apollyon. They are gonna be sent. They're being sent to Purgatory as we speak, Bug. As it is all but over. No one to contest. Just the Reaper on point, and there it goes down. That's it. Relentless tier 2, winning it out in overtime. I just wanted to say that. Oh my goodness. But 3-0 is going to be the final score. Relentless winning it out.
Yeah, I think the reverse sweep hype was alive for a little bit, but it didn't look like it's gonna linger much longer. As it does secure the series. Yeah, rough spot for Purgatory to be in. As we saw Relentless on that last push there, you could see the team coordination, and you could see them playing as a team. That far went in for the flank, the wrecking ball pushed up from the front, and everyone followed up onto the picks.
Yeah.
Very clean team play. From Purgatory, we didn't really see any of that. Their shining moments was as individual players getting massive plays.
Yeah, that's definitely something they need to really work on. Playing together as a team. That's the biggest thing I can recommend people in tier 2 and lower. If you play together as a team, you're most likely going to win more games than not. It's because if some teams, like we just saw, don't have that good team play. And we saw great team play coming from Relentless. They win it. It was a majority because of that. But I mean, not to downplay the amazing play we saw from the DPS line off Relentless.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. The players on each team do have a lot of mechanical skill. Like, I do think Relentless does have a bit more mechanical skill there, but Purgatory could have kind of slowed down that sweep there and maybe gone to another map if they did play more as a team. But it didn't look like anything clicked between the intermission, and that's kind of sad to see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got a point. They got 2 points. We could say something clicked a little bit. But before we head this off and end the first stream of Firewall Season 5, MVPs of the match. Who is your MVP of this match, Bogged?
For Apollyon, Illegal Eagle.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
massive plays on the Ashe there, getting 2 4Ks, winning team fights. I mean, absolutely massive. I don't think I could have asked for more. That'd be super unreasonable.
Yeah. Now the hard part. Relentless. Both of their DPS shine so bright. I don't really know who to pick between those two. I'll go with Bolite because I felt more consistency throughout the entire series. But any of these players on the Relentless you could make a case for MVP. Do you have any say on Relentless's MVP pick?
I mean, it could go anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single member there was really well coordinated, and they all played mechanically really well. Each one was winning their matchups for the most part, and it was just really good play from them. I mean, anyone could take MVP.
Well, I'll say Bolite. If you have any problems, don't bring it up with me. Thank you all for watching. This has been me and Bogfern on the first cast of Season 5 of Firewall. Make sure to check out the other streams that'll be happening later on this week. Make sure to join the Discord. Make sure to check out the merch. I got the new joggers. They're pretty fine. Thank you all for watching. Peace out and good night.